Arsenal predicted 11 versus Atletico Madrid as Victor Gyökeres returns and Eberechiez recovers. The predicted Arsenal team to start against Atletico Madrid in the Champions League semi-final first leg, as the Gunners look to put one foot in the final. Arsenal take on La Liga giants Atletico Madrid in the Rio Air Metropolitano, looking to secure a strong first leg result in the semi-final of the UEFA Champions League. The Gunners were eliminated at the same stage last season by PSG, losing the first leg at the Emirates Stadium. After winning 8 from 8 in the league phase, they earned the right to play every second leg match in North London. However, Diego Simeone will be looking to maximise his Atleti side's chances of progression in his home ground. Mikel Arteta has several players who are injury concerns or doubts going into the match. Kai Havertz is expected to miss several games after suffering a problem against Newcastle United, but there are hopes for Eberechiez, despite also having to come off. Many are suggesting that the Frenchman has gone understated as a potential player of the season contender for Arsenal, and while he faces a tough race, being the best in these final weeks could give him the edge. Gabriel, having already scored against Atletico Madrid earlier this season from a set-piece, the Spanish side has plenty of reason to fear what the Brazilian could again threaten from those aerial balls. Piero Hincapié, making a case to be Arsenal's best summer signing, the Ecuador left-back was a player Atletico were keen on themselves when Andrea Berta was their sporting director. Now wearing the red and white, it will be his job to nullify Giuliano Simeone's threat down the Gunners' left. Martin Zubimendi. The Spaniard has begun to find some form again after a dip in performances since the turn of the year, and having plenty of experience against La Rojiblancos, Zubimendi could become a valuable player for this tie. The big question surrounding Declan Rice, beyond his ability to continue to be a threat from corners or set pieces, is whether his engine can keep battling away after such a long and arduous season. Martinodegaard, a mixed return to action for the club captain, and this would be just his second Champions League match since the league phase completed, missing both games against Bayer Leverkusen and the home tie with Sporting CP. His influence to penetrate the Atletico backline with more urgency. Bukayosaka. Bukayosaka returned to the Arsenal team after a significant spell-out to play the final 15 minutes. The level which increased after his entrance was incredibly noticeable, and it will depend on how his fitness levels are viewed whether he can start, but if he's able, he will. With Kai Havertz expected to miss the next few games with the injury suffered against Newcastle United, it means Victor Gyökeres looks set to return to the starting role at centre-forward, and he needs to grasp the opportunity. Eberechiez. There was good news regarding Ez's fitness despite suffering a problem, and that is massive news for Arsenal, because there is a strong argument that he is the standout player for this run-in, and could be the key to winning the big trophies. Arsenal return to European action as they travel to Atletico Madrid in the first leg of their Champions League semi-final encounter on Wednesday night. The Gunners ended their 4-game domestic winless run in their last outing, as they overcame Newcastle 1-0 with a tightly contested match. Eberechi has found the winning moments with a stunning strike from the edge of the box inside the opening 10 minutes. Atletico also brought a poor run of home soil form to an end with a 3-2 win over Athletic Bilbao's timeout. Alexander Sørloth's brace added to an Antoine Griezmann strike as the Rojiblancos came from behind to defeat Bilbao. This will be yet another huge test for Mikel Arteta's side as they look to put themselves in a good position to reach just their second ever Champions League final in the midst of a dramatic Premier League title race. Here's our preview of Arsenal's semi-final trip to Atletico Madrid. Pablo Barrios and Jose Gimenez will both miss out as they recover from respective injuries, while Ademola Lookman and David Hanko are also doubts for the first leg, but will be assessed pre-match. Julian Alvarez is also a potential absentee as he has been dealing with discomfort. Having sat out as an unused substitute at the weekend though, he should be able to return to the starting lineup, pairing with either Antoine Griezmann or Alexander Sørloth in attack. Johnny Cardoso, Rodrigo Mendoza or Marcos Llorente could come back in to replace Barrios as the central midfield starter alongside Koch. The latter may start at right back, but Nahuel Molina could get the nod. Kai Havertz and Jurrien Timber were both absent from training on Tuesday, but there is some optimism the former could be available, being substituted against Newcastle. Eberechiez was also forced off in the win over the Magpies, but he was spotted in training, so should be involved. Gabriel Martinelli could start on the left flank in his place, and will be looking to add to his impressive Champions League goal tally. Victor Gyökeres will likely replace Havertz as the starting striker, and will be looking to find the back of the net against Atletico, having done so twice in October's league phase encounter. Having come off the bench to make his return from injury at the weekend, Bukayosaka could be in line for a start on the right flank, replacing Noni Madueke, whose performances have been below par in recent games. This is possibly one of the most difficult games to predict. To teams that pride themselves on their defensive abilities and cautious approach going head-to-head in a European semi-final, this isn't a match that will be blessed with goals. Arsenal were the dominant victors in the last meeting between these two sides earlier this season, but this tie will be a different story with the stakes so high. The Gunners will keep their Champions League unbeaten run intact, but there will be nothing to separate the sides on Wednesday night, as they will play out a draw to set up a dramatic second leg.